Hello, welcome to this update for the U.S and Canada. So let's discuss what might happen that winter storm and everything. So first, let's see the severe weather because we do have some storms today, parts of the south, southeast, and especially near like Florida and Alabama, Mississippi and Georgia. There's a small tornado threat in those areas, 2% tornado threat this afternoon and evening, and wind 5%, and hail just 5% in Alabama and parts of Mississippi. So let's see. Strong to severe thunderstorms are possible late tonight to early Thanksgiving morning. So more like overnight instead of this afternoon, and over central Mississippi to central northern Alabama, parts of western central Florida, Panhandle, and southwestern Georgia. So be aware there tonight in those areas, especially with the tornado threat and the wind threat there. So let's see. But they choose a way bigger marginal risk, extending all the way from Louisiana to North Carolina, even to far southeastern Virginia. So let's see. Scared strong to potentially severe thunderstorms are possible Thursday across parts of southeast and the Carolinas, with the greatest threat currently expected late morning into the afternoon. Locally, damaging winds, isolated hail, and a tornado or two are all possible, so be careful. Hail at 5% from Louisiana to North Carolina, wind at 5% in the whole area, and tornado a smaller 2% from Mississippi to southeastern Virginia. So be careful in those areas tomorrow, Thursday. And let's see, on Friday, just a general risk of some storms near Florida and Georgia. And now the fire is elevated tomorrow, Thursday, in parts of Southern California, but today, Wednesday, there's nothing there. So yeah, BPPOR, maybe some low relative humidity, some gusty winds might cause that elevated there. And then current warnings, that there are the winter storm warnings in Colorado and winter weather advisories for the storm there, so be careful of the snow and everything. So winter storm watches the northeast area from like northeastern Ohio to Maine, and some parts of New York, Vermont and New Hampshire. A small winter weather advisory in northern Minnesota, and some other weather statements there, and some wind advisories in parts of New Mexico, and right between California and Arizona and Nevada. Some frost advisories in central to northern California, some heavy freezing spray in the coastal western Alaska. So winter storm warnings, some mountains of southern Alaska winter weather advisories. So yeah, be careful. And the weather map does show some heavy snow in Colorado today, Wednesday, and some general snow like Montana into Minnesota and all the way into Washington. Some snow still in Michigan and the Great Lakes. Some mixed precipitation possible all the way from Arizona to Maine. And yeah, so be aware. Thanksgiving shows those areas of heavier snow near New York and Maine, New Hampshire, some in Vermont for Thursday tomorrow. Shows some general snow possible from Minnesota to northern Maine, especially parts of southern Canada as well, and some areas, and also an area in Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota, and Wyoming, even to Idaho, some snow too. In New Mexico and Washington, some small areas of mixed precipitation. And Friday, they do have this snow possible like further south, Nebraska to Missouri, some snow possible. Some heavy lake effect snow, parts of New York and Pennsylvania, even northeastern Ohio. Still a pocket of a little bit heavier snow in Maine, some more snow from Maine, northern New Hampshire. Still some mixed precipitation in the northeast. Some areas of heavier snow near the UP of Michigan, northern Michigan, and some areas of snow in Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, and in Washington, some mixed precipitation. So be careful those areas. Flash flooding, not really expecting anything today nor Thursday, but with those storms in the south, you never know, so always be aware. Nor until day 5, so nothing crazy in terms of flash flooding. Snow in Colorado today, northern New Mexico, and parts of Canada, even to Montana a little bit. Day 2 shows that snow there tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, especially Maine, New Hampshire, New York, and Vermont, and northwest Massachusetts. The UP of Michigan shows more snow there, and the west is kind of quiet. But day 3 shows that heavier lake effect snow, New York, especially like northeastern Ohio to southwestern New York and Pennsylvania, and shows northern Michigan some, the UP of Michigan, some areas of heavier snow. And I also want to highlight southern Ontario along the lake there, the lake effect snow, so be aware. And shows a finger or two in the mountains of the west, but nothing really that crazy. Day 4, next Saturday, shows still the lake effect near the Great Lakes, a finger or two in Missouri. Day 5, more still the Great Lakes on Sunday. Day 6 still shows some slight probabilities of lake effect. Day 7 still some lower, but still some mild probabilities of lake effect, so be careful there. Day 1 through 7, precipitation does show that rain the southeast from those storms, maybe a shower or two in Florida, a storm or two shows the northeast, and there will be snow in those specific areas of the northeast, but not everywhere. So most of the northeast there will be rain, especially along the coast. So yeah, be aware. It shows the northwest rain and a spot in southern Texas with some more rain as well. So be aware, especially day 7 in Texas, day 6 a little bit, day 5 a little bit as well, day 4 doesn't really show much, day 3 the lake affecting the northeast, day 2 the system in the northeast with more rain along the coast and the storms, and day 1 is today, so be aware those areas. But one interesting thing is the hazards forecast. They do have some frost freeze hazards, even the south, the day 3 through 7, and some heavy snow, especially along the lake effect areas, the Great Lakes. Frost freeze in the south and hazardous cold in the north there. So yeah, be careful in those areas. And day 8 through 14 does show still some heavy snow and high winds possible, much below average temperatures in the south, and the snow in the northeast, and shows some more heavy precipitation in Alaska, day 8 through 14, so be aware. They still have the key messages here for the hazardous cold, so still showing some whites there, North Dakota, close to -20, even -30 wind chills until Sunday, and the heavy lake effect. So the link to this here is in the description, so feel free to hop there and read. So yeah, and they do have some snow probabilities. They say 72 hours here, so let's see. They do have the northeast, the snow, especially New York, central New York, and along the Great Lakes. That's snow into Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, especially close like 6 to 8 inches, and southwest New York all the way to 18 inches next 3 days. Shows more Michigan, so some spots in the UP close to 18 inches, and here this is very slow, so shows some in Colorado, New Mexico, some spots to like 8 inches or something, the highest peak. So yeah, be aware. And here, let's see. So this is the European model, shows the snow in Colorado still, shows a lot of snow throughout central and eastern Canada as well, and also along the west it's showing today, so still shows some snow there throughout Ontario and Quebec, and on Thursday starts bringing this system to the northeast, shows some snow northern Pennsylvania and Ohio, New York, this goes there. There might be more rain along the coast, might be a little bit heavier in some areas along the coast. Shows the snow in New Hampshire, central northern New York, and Vermont, and into Maine there. So this is Thursday. This goes Friday, the 29th. Does show this moving on to Atlantic Canada. More snow northern Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and some heavy rain in Nova Scotia, but still shows the lake effect occurring. Pennsylvania, New York, a finger or two in the Appalachians. Friday, this goes into Newfoundland, some more rain and snow, and eastern Quebec, still snow there by like Friday and Saturday. This keeps going, the snow keeps falling there, parts of Labrador and Quebec on Sunday, and then yeah, it still shows some lingering snow showers this December 1st into December 2nd throughout Ontario and Quebec. But the heavier snow will be that the lake effect there in Lake Erie, parts of Lake Michigan, and also in those others, Lake Superior, and yeah, so be aware there. And later, the European does have like Thursday some small specks of snow near like South Dakota, Montana, late Thursday, but it does have like something on Friday, Montana. Then this goes there and brings some snow all the way to like Kentucky, North Carolina on December 1st, and it brings the system to northern Missouri and Iowa on December 2nd. But that's kind of far out. And there's this weird moisture surge in parts of Texas later, like not December 2nd or something, that might have some more showers and storms near like southern Texas and some areas. The GFS does have some showers looming there, and yeah, in early December, so be aware in those areas. Now the snowfall accumulation does show the European some until the December 2nd, bare like until just until Saturday. So from this system, the Thanksgiving snowstorm does show like 9 inches in New York, 10 inches southern Vermont, especially northern Massachusetts, western Massachusetts, and to Maine some 7 inches, and like 5 inches some areas northern Pennsylvania and those areas. But this is just one model. The GFS a little bit different, but also has snow all the way from West Virginia to Maine, so some 7 inches parts of Maine, New York and Pennsylvania, some spots to 8 inches, even 9 inches. And yeah, those other areas. The icon is like a little bit further north. It has the coast clear of snow, just rain. And it has some more snow, like 12 inches in Maine, Vermont, New York, close to 11, 9 inches in other areas. Now, if I put this until December 2nd to see the lake effect, does show some parts of western New York all the way to 27 inches, 29, especially southwestern New York and Pennsylvania, some 25 inches, and further into New York, some 29 inches, and Ohio there. The European, until that time, has all the way to like 34 inches near Lake Erie, a lot across New York and northeastern Ohio, some 11 inches in Cleveland. It shows further north into New York, such as like 31 inches to 28 to 31 inches. So yeah, be aware. And like along Lake Michigan until December 5th does show more there like 21 inches all along the lake, a little bit heavier. And so yeah, be careful. The UP of Michigan, Lake Superior, does show some like 30 inches on some spots, others just 14 inches, 21 inches. So be careful in those areas, especially like the days of the lake effect with low visibility and some accumulating snow and snow squalls near the lake. So be aware. Now let's see here for Canada. So the show at the lake effect until December 5th, southern Ontario shows some 63 centimeters. Some areas right by the lake, close to like 92 centimeters or something, 70 centimeters. It shows more there, like not much southernmost Ontario, but more near like right by the lake, so some 75 centimeters, 54. So be aware in other parts of southern Ontario, a little bit lighter, so 5 centimeters, 6 centimeters, and shows more snow from northern Ontario. That lingering snow there, so like 40 centimeters, 19 centimeters, most of Quebec with snow, but let's just put until December 1st. So just until the 1st shows some spots with almost no snow, but shows already some lake effect in Ontario, more across Labrador and Quebec there. Especially New Brunswick shows more there. From the distance, some 26 centimeters in other areas. The icon does have some a little bit further west, like some 30 centimeters New Brunswick, and does have some lake effect snowbanks in Ontario, almost to 53 centimeters. And until December 3rd, does have some 60 centimeters, especially like some odd areas we're right by the lake, so be careful. The GFS has some there, but not as much. Like some 4 if 7 centimeters in some areas, so be careful there. And shows more across like British Columbia and southern Alaska, and it's showing a lot there the next 5 days. So until Saturday morning, does show some like some 100 centimeters those mountains. Be aware if you live right in those mountains. There doesn't seem to be much there, but there are some towns nearby, so be aware. Shows more southern Alaska too. But if I put this until November, not December 2nd, the Europeans more than 200 centimeters of snow, although it's 202 in the western British Columbia. Not so much southwestern areas like Vancouver Island, a little bit less. Vancouver barely 0 centimeters, but further north in those mountains and with southern Alaska as well, more than 100, 200 centimeters of snow. That shows some more eastern British Columbia next 5 days and 72 centimeters. Northern British Columbia, like in Alberta, there's some more. Not southern Alberta shows some snow showers, but mainly central Alberta, Saskatchewan, northern Saskatchewan, some northeastern Manitoba shows more, and like some other areas. That shows some whispers of snow through Montana, so like 1 inch or even less. It shows North Dakota like half an inch or something. And that show a weird band of snow in Kansas the next 5 days, like New Mexico and Colorado. It shows a little bit less in California, so it's finally calm across the west. Shows a tiny speck there, but yeah, a little bit better. But that show this field of snow coming all the way from North Dakota to like North Carolina. So yeah, that's close to like 2 inches or something. So yeah, be aware there's some like 2.5 inches. So be aware. But this might change. The icon has a little bit further north the band of snow. The GFS has like it disappears there, reappears in Kansas, and shows some west those areas. And like the her just until Friday does have, if it loads here, so just until Friday the her has that snow in the northeast, some in West Virginia, but more like in Pennsylvania, in New York, in those areas, some like some 10 inches, some parts of New York 13 inches, Vermont some 8 inches, Maine, and those areas. It also shows the lake affecting southern Ontario, some areas, and if you put this is the maximum it goes, but start showing some more in New York close to 15 inches. Shows some snow in Ohio, Indiana as well. Central Ohio does have the one in New Mexico. Kansas have some specks of snow, and shows Montana there in some areas, so be aware there. And yeah, so be careful that snow. And the wind gusts does show those stronger gusts in New Mexico until the end of 2 days, like 50-mile-per-hour gusts. This goes there, shows some gusty winds like right on the coast as this system forms. Be careful with like marine warnings and stuff. And then this goes there, shows some very high winds through Nova Scotia and some other areas, like some 106 kilometer per gust, 105 northern Nova Scotia. So that's definitely a possibility there. The icon has a similar thing a little bit earlier, so like 112, 107 kilometer per gusts. And then this goes there Friday into New Finland, shows more than 100 km per hour southwestern New Finland, BOR in Saint Pierre and Miquelon, and shows more around like western Newfoundland there and some other areas with high gusts. And then that goes away, might affect like Labrador, some higher gusts, especially coastal areas. And here, and still shows some gusty winds in the Great Lakes from time to time with that lake effect. This is Saturday, shows some breezier conditions throughout parts of the Midwest and the Northeast, especially along the lakes, so be aware. Maybe some gusty winds like 4 and something mile per hour gusts, almost to 50 near like the Appalachians, so be careful. and shows those systems along the west, some higher winds like Alaska, southern areas of Alaska, into British Columbia next Tuesday, shows some higher gusts eastern British Columbia and some areas there. This goes and like shows some higher gusts for like some parts of southern British Columbia December 5th or something, even a finger to northern Montana. It really kicks up all the way to 60, 50 mile per hour gusts northern Montana on like December 6th into southern Alberta, so 90 kilometer per hour gusts and 83. And yeah, so we'll keep monitoring that, be aware those areas. But now for those crazy cold temperatures, let's see here. So we won't go through every single day today because we don't have enough time, but we'll just take a look at some wind chills and stuff. So let's try to see a little bit faster here. So the show those -1 0 Fahrenheit already tonight into Thursday along Montana, North Dakota, shows the like very cold in the Rockies of Colorado, close to 0 Fahrenheit or even less in the higher peaks. Sunter is all the way to Oklahoma in the northeast and those areas, and very cold across the west, like the mountains of California, Nevada, and Oregon, those areas. During the day shows like 9 Fahrenheit maximum temperatures in the north, some 8 is in Florida, and a little bit chillier in the northeast and some parts of the northwest. And day 2 shows all the way to -12 Fahrenheit northern North Dakota and Montana, so be careful with like frostbite, the wind chills and everything. Some 30s all the way to southern Texas, central Texas, and some 20s in the Midwest, those areas, so very cold, some 16, 17, and -3 all the way to South Dakota, so be aware. During the day, just like 2 Fahrenheit, the maximum temperatures, during Friday during the day, some 30s all the way down to northern Missouri, and Saturday morning, the shows all the way to -14 Fahrenheit northern North Dakota. Some 30s extending all the way down to Florida, and some like below 32 Fahrenheit all the way down to Alabama. So very cold there. So 18 Fahrenheit in Kentucky, 16, 18, 29. So be careful with the cold and the wind chills and everything. Day 4, just some 5 Fahrenheit during the day, North Dakota, some 30s all the way to Missouri, the Appalachians and some other areas, and still cold at the high elevations of the west. Sunday morning, does show some -9, -4 Fahrenheit still, -11, 34 or 32 Fahrenheit all the way to Florida Panhandle. So be careful, some teens in the northeast and some areas. Sunday afternoon shows some 11 Fahrenheit to the north, the maximum temperature, some 20s along the Midwest and northeast there. So be aware. Still some -7 to -8 Fahrenheit on Monday morning, and some 30s all the way into Florida again, some 20s in Alabama. So yeah, very cold. So be aware, especially like in areas less used to cold in the south, but be careful with the dangerous frostbite in the north and wind chills. And then shows some 10 Fahrenheit Monday afternoon during the day, some 30s all the way down to North Carolina and the Appalachians, and cold across the high elevations of the west. Not all the areas, but some mountains cold. Still some -1, -2 Fahrenheit Tuesday morning across the north. Not way into northern Florida, like 33, 32 degrees, 20s and teens throughout the southeast and midwest, the northeast, so like teens and single digits in the northern Midwest and those areas, and cold across the Rockies and the west as well. It's still cold on like Tuesday afternoon, December 3rd, especially across the north. So be careful there. The 48-hour snowfall, they do have some the snow in the northeast until Friday, especially from like Vermont to Maine, so heavier snow, and some spots in New York to something or two in West Virginia, but more in Colorado, New Mexico, and some in Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota. So be careful those areas there. Now let's just try to see something. Not sure if I'll get this right here, but let's see. These are the wind chills from the European model. So does show like those colder wind chills there. This in Fahrenheit's like 3, 10, Fahrenheit in the mountains, but this like Thursday still. Let's see, like Friday shows up Aldrich minus 21 Fahrenheit wind chills in northern North Dakota. The European model something like 0, -2 in the Rockies, and -3 Aldrich to southern Minnesota, and like Monday still some -10 Fahrenheit wind chills in northern North Dakota and Montana. Those areas so very cold. Please be careful there, just like they mentioned in the text there. And the National Weather Service, the possibility of 20 to -30 wind chills, and very cold across the Northeast. It's later next week, so like -6, -4 wind chills in the Northeast. So be careful and imagine across Canada. So yeah, be careful there. And here they do have some warnings in British Columbia, parts of Ontario, like British Columbia, some snowfall warnings, some mountains there, so be careful. In New Brunswick, wait, they do have some special weather statements for the system coming tomorrow. Nova Scotia, the same thing, probably for wind and rain with some snow. Ontario, some snow squall warnings right by near Lake Superior, some special weather statements, and Prince Edward Island special weather too for the system coming. So this link is in the description, so check there, be aware. Let's see here. I don't know if they have this in Celsius to see the wind chills in Canada, but you get the idea. It's very, very cold there, like some -26 Fahrenheit, and some days like even across southern Canada, -26, -27, and later next week's, like where I was before there, next Wednesday or something like -17 wind chills in Ontario. They might be close to like -20 Celsius, or even less. So please stay safe there. Those very cold temperatures, the temperatures here still shows those like -29 degrees Celsius, -37 Yukon. In Alaska, it's practically the same in Fahrenheit, like -39 Fahrenheit, and in the south it's like 30s and 20s Fahrenheit. So be careful. The cold temperatures all the way to southern Ontario, so -1. Quebec, very cold too, so -25 in Alberta, and Saskatchewan. This goes, that's like Friday. Now Wednesday shows already very cold and a little bit warmer southern Ontario, but cold across the north. This goes, and this cold comes all the way down practically all of Quebec and Ontario under negative temperatures on like Friday, Thursday to Friday, and even to Saturday in Labrador, northern Newfoundland, and southern Saskatchewan all the way to -31 degrees Celsius in Alberta, northern British Columbia. Some very, very cold temperatures there. Of course, the late midwinter might be colder, but it is like the coldest air of the season, so stay safe from these cold temperatures. This comes and still like very cold into the December 1st, -5, southern Ontario, -9, -28. In the north, still like some Arctic temperatures, -38, so BR some -5, -7, all the way into New Brunswick, negative in Nova Scotia, many areas. So stay safe in those areas, and yeah, be careful. We'll make more updates in the coming days, and check the links in the description for warnings.